Today, let's talk about ways to get off of opioids. What are some good ideas? What are bad ideas? And ultimately, what works, in my opinion, what doesn't work. First, I'd like to start off by talking about Kratom. Now, Kratom has been purported to be helpful for opioid addiction, and I disagree. It's useful for making you feel okay, but it's not useful for treating your addiction to a substance. You can use it if you like to smoke pot or that sort of thing, but it's very weak. You got to take a bunch of it, and it's not proven to be a useful solution for getting off of hard drugs. Now, it might be like a placebo effect, that sort of thing, but in my experience, it's not helpful. It's just something else that it can give you more withdrawals, not the same type of withdrawal, but I have heard of kratom withdrawals, and we're trying to get away from abusing hardcore, opiates. Maybe just like to get fucked up, but I would not recommend kratom for those reasons. Obviously, if they had like a over-the-counter supplement for helping you get off of, like anything, people would be taking it, and you wouldn't need, things like Sublocade or Suboxone or things like that. Next on my list is Methadone. Methadone is the fucking worst. It really, really sucks. It's great for, initially getting you fucked up and all this other stuff, but ultimately, when you're on methadone, you're just using it because you don't want to be sick while you wait for your other drugs like fentanyl or heroin or whatever. And I found that you still can be sick off of heroin and off of fentanyl, even if you are on methadone. So it's like a Band-Aid. I remember when I came off of methadone, I was so fucking sick. It was disgusting. It's not fun. Even smoking fentanyl, it did nothing for the withdrawals for methadone. It was fucking terrible. So, as far as like how sick you can get and things that are going to help, aren't going to help, I'm really warning you, stay away from fucking methadone. It's not fun to come off of. I can tell you from personal experience. I even got up to it was over 300 milligrams a day. And I was still smoking heroin. It was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this to get off of opiates, and no, it didn't working out that way. It was able to help me keep my job. But it's a Band-Aid for a much, much, much bigger problem. So, those are my recommendations of stuff to avoid. If you are serious about getting off of opiates, you really need to do the detox in a medical setting. This is much more effective when you back that up with going to rehab. I remember when I was in rehab, it was only 2 weeks, and I did follow that up with a 3-month intensive outpatient. I'm very glad that I did those things, and I was on Suboxone for a while, but I switched over to Sublocade, and it works. Now, there's people out there be like, oh, you're not really sober if you're on Sublocade. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Whatever works for somebody to get them sober. And I will say, even if it is methadone, I mean, there's one person I've ever met that got clean using methadone, but that's it. It's not typically something that people use to get clean. It's just an excuse for people who don't want to get clean and still be able to get fucked up with, minimal repercussions, which was what I thought was the case at the time. Can that steer you in the right direction? Absolutely. I'm not pretending to speak for everybody. I don't know everything. I'm just telling you what worked for me. Do I see myself getting off of Sublocade? I sure fucking hope so. And another point to being on Sublocade is, like, it doesn't fuck you up. Even when I was on Suboxone, it didn't fuck me up. So how can you tell me that I'm not really sober if I'm on a medication that's keeping me sober? So, I mean, think about that for a minute. Anyway, if you're an addict, comment below. Let me know how long you've been using. Let me know if you even want to get clean. And I'm telling you, it's possible if it's something that you want, but it's not going to happen unless you want it. And I didn't want it for the longest time. I just thought things were so goddamn bad in my head, and that life was just so shitty, and all sorts of dumb stuff that I know is not true about myself. I'm very happy now, and I mean, you can do it too. You just have to have some faith that you can do it, whether that be by the grace of your God or whatever. But give yourself more credit than, some spiritual whatever to help get you sober. It is within you. Ultimately, you're the one that's going to have to do the work and make it work. So, thank you for watching.